Yep, that was an airbag.
Alright guys, we are back at the shop, and I am about to tear this thing apart. I think I'm going to tear apart the front end, take the whole front, this whole front radiator support out, and just start stripping stuff out of the car, getting it torn down, starting to get a look and see what we're actually dealing with. May start pulling apart the interior. We'll see. I really want to get the front end taken. Apart first. So we're gonna start there at the front end and go from there. And we'll see. We'll see what all gets done. It all needs to come apart. So it all needs to get torn down. We're tearing everything out of this car. All the wiring, brake lines, ABS system, all the fuse panels, everything. It's getting completely stripped down because what we're going to be doing here is building a grudge car. So I can't tell you everything we're doing because obviously some of it has to be a secret. So I can't say everything we're doing yet, maybe never, but I will. I'll be recording pretty much everything, so you guys will get to see exactly what's going on for the most part, other than little secrets and things like that. But the whole car is getting completely stripped down, and probably gonna eventually pull all the glass and stuff out of it, and go from there because we got to get the car prepped for chassis work, cage, and all that. So I gotta still talk to the chassis guy. I'm looking at having I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have Rocky from what is it, US 12 Customs in New Buffalo. He's gonna be the guy that's pretty much doing all the chassis work, and we're just gonna get it all prepped and ready to go for him, so he doesn't have as much work to do on the car. So everything's got to come out. Subframe's coming out. Obviously everything in the front's coming out. The tub's coming out. There's probably a lot of flooring that's going to get cut. Oh shit, that drops hard. A lot of flooring that's going to be cut out of the car. Whole interior's got to come out of the car. So yeah, that's it. That's everything we're doing. And I'm just gonna put the camera down and start pulling things apart, and we'll see how far we get with things today. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this whole build go through, and I don't know exactly when it's gonna be done. It's gonna be a pretty long process. I have a motor for it already. The guys at Steve Morse Engines built me a killer engine. Kyle hooked me up. So it's going to be an awesome build, and I'm really excited to see where this all ends up going, and I can't wait to drive the car, but obviously everything takes time. So I'm going to stop rambling on here. I'm going to put the camera down and start pulling this thing apart. All right, guys, this is hilarious. So we We pulled the fuel pump assembly out because this car, like I said, had a blower on it. I can't remember if it had an LSA blower or like a Maggie or something on it. The guy we bought the car from, I think, said it wasn't an LSA, but it had a blower on it, so I'm sure it had like a Maggie of some kind or a TSV, or yeah, anyways. It had a blower on it. So we got to thinking, well, it must have a fuel pump, and when we pulled the back seat out, of course, they had the top of the above the fuel tank, you know, they cut it out, and they obviously were in there. So we opened it up, and there's a bunch of fuel in it, obviously. So we cut the wires, hooked it up, spliced them, and pumped it all out, and pulled the canister out. And as we're pulling the canister out, there's this big ass regulator in the tank. So I know it'll work, but that has got to be the most ghetto way I've ever seen somebody swap these pumps out. They actually took a regulator, they teed it, and it's not a bad pump. That's a Walbro 450 pump, but they ran off the pump, they teed it, ran it out, and then off that tee they ran to the regulator, and I'm assuming they just turned the pump on while the regulator was dumping into the tank and adjusted that regulator. I don't know. Supposedly this car dropped a valve, so I mean, maybe that's why. They who knows, but there's all this junk. There's all this junk. All that junk in the fuel sock. So crazy. I'm not surprised that this thing blew up, but I had to show you guys that. That's crazy. Like, they even like, what's the point of even running the canister? They cut a hole in the bottom of the canister to run that through. So the whole canister isn't even doing anything. They might as well have just got rid of the canister altogether and just laid that fuel pump in the tank. But whatever. I've had to show you guys that though, but that's crazy. We're gonna disassemble this a little bit more and get this pump out of here because the pump is worth something. If anyone needs a Walbro 450 pump, we got one. And then we'll go back over to the car and show you what we got going on over there.
So this is what it feels like to be in a drag car.
All right, so been at this for a while now, a few hours, and we've got pretty much everything pulled out of the engine bay other than the wiring. Next thing up here is going to be, I need to get the transmission out. And that way we can get the rest of that wiring done and removed from that. And then this wire here goes through the firewall, and it goes into the cabin. There's no plug or anything on that, so we're gonna have to pull the dash and unhook it to pull that out. I could just cut it, but I've been trying not to cut as much as I possibly can because would like to try to sell some of this stuff if I can, so or possibly use it for something, who knows. I still have the factory ECU. There's a air conditioning pump, compressor, power steering pump with the reservoir, evaporator coil, air conditioning coil for the front, windshield washer or windshield wiper motor, and the arms and stuff. If anybody needs any of that stuff, just let me know. But yeah, here's where we're at. I got the passenger seat pulled out now, and we got the back seat pulled out. We pulled the fuel pump and got that out of the car. We got most of the trunk stuff was already kind of pulled out. Those are the hoses that were going up to the heat exchanger for the water to air intercooler for the blower that was on it. I can't believe that fuel pump. That's hilarious. So that fuel pump is some funny stuff. So things are coming along. I think the next thing we're probably going to do is start pulling door panels, obviously the dash, get that wire out of the firewall, and get the transmission out. I'm gonna have to get underneath the car and put it in neutral, because now that there's no power to anything, you can't just turn the key on and pull the shift selector. So I think there might be a bypass for the shift selector. I'm not 100% sure, but if not, I'm just gonna pull the shift selector arm off and kick it into neutral, so we can roll the car back onto the lift and get it up in the air, get that transmission out, and see what all's going on with that. But yeah, things are coming along. So I think in the next video we will probably be taking out the dash and a few other things and getting the car ready, and then it shouldn't be too much longer before we can have the chassis guy come here and check everything out and see what we need to actually start cutting to get it ready for the cage and chassis stuff. So I'm getting pretty excited about that. As we go through the car more, there's little things I see here and there with it that kind of sucks, but it is what it is, and we'll just do what we need to do. Probably at some point I'm going to pull this whole wrap off the car, see what's actually under it. It's supposed to be an MGM car color, I believe. I believe it was originally MGM car. I mean, all the engine based stuff is the MGM color. So, but I have a feeling that some of the panels, like doors and whatever else, I believe this car was in a front end. It hit somebody or something, but the frame rails, everything on it is straight. So, but like you can see all this green. That's all overspray. So some of this, the car's been resprayed. I'm pretty sure, that ugly green color underneath this wrap. So we'll see what we're gonna end up doing with all that. I really not too worried about the exterior once it's once the chassis stuff's done. It's on good wheels and it's gonna look totally different anyway. So, and like I said, we can always rewrap the car. I'll probably pull the wrap off, sand everything down real nice, fix any dents, and straighten the body out, and just throw like an epoxy sealer over the whole car, and then rewrap it most likely. So yeah, I think next video we'll probably be putting it up on the lift and getting that transmission out, getting this whole exhaust system off, and go from there, get some more of the interior stuff taken apart and get it ready to where we can actually start cutting into it. So see you guys next time. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. We're gonna try to be posting videos. I'm gonna try to post videos every single week. That's the plan. Every single week I'm gonna be bringing content to you guys, and it might not always be on the build. It might be working on another car, my daily. I think if this doesn't soak all my money up, I'm gonna try to put a different cam in my other G8, and something that'll run a little bit better on motor. But I'm thinking of one RCR, Owner Crawford's. I think it's like the Dominator Pro, but it's for nitrous. It's one of his nitrous cams. I'm gonna probably throw in the car, and then I need to do the some valves or some headwork stuff to it as well. So that's gonna be coming later in a different video, probably before summer, most likely sometime before spring. I'm gonna be doing that once this car here goes off to Rocky to get done for all the chassis stuff. So we'll see you guys in the next video.